In this video, we are going over how to stop absorbing other people's negative energy. If you find that every single time you begin to make a little bit of progress, you're moving from a more positive foundation, yet all of these people are dragging you down and you're absorbing, you're internalizing, you're just getting the energy sucked out of you, but absorbing their energy, then watch this video because I'm gonna give you some ideas that are gonna help you to stop doing this and root yourself in that positive energy you ideally want to be moving in your life. That's coming up next. Hi guys, my name is Dave and this is HeartSpace, where we are releasing videos every single day to help you expand, to help you evolve, and to help you move more from your heart and passion. So if that sounds good to you, you want videos around those topics and you don't want to miss any, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon. Now today I want to talk about a problem a lot of people have, especially when they first get into self-development, when they first get into spirituality. It's that despite them starting to get into self-development, spirituality, being more positive, things of this nature, everyone else around them doesn't seem so keen on it. Everyone else around them seems to be doing as they normally do. They're fairly negative, they're fairly critical, they're skeptical. And so it becomes very difficult to be around them as you are shifting your frequency and energy. Now there are some things that you can do, and I want to give you those tools so that when you find yourself in these situations that you don't absorb their energy and then go back into your old story and your old habits. So let's get into it. So the first thing, guys, is to change your environment. And that's one you've probably already heard, but I want to talk about this on a macro and micro scale. So on a macro scale, you obviously want to work towards living with and near or around, being around people that are more aligned to your energy. And now if you're in a home, say with like roommates that are negative, or you're just in a situation you can't leave in this immediately right now, you can't move somewhere else right now where these people are, don't worry, this is more long term. The thing about energy, the thing about being positive is if you stay in it long enough, the external environment has to change. You will be called to do the things that allow you to change that external environment, okay? So just stay in it. In the long term, it'll work out. But I want to talk about the short term because a lot of people will go, well, I just can't move. I can't do this. So they disregard it and just stay rooted in the negativity and just put up with it. And I don't think that's the way to go. So in the short term, this is what I used to do as well that helped a lot, is you need to find places you can go that are near you, environments near you that you can go when you need to leave a negative situation. For example, one thing within your control, and essentially this is just taking control of what you can control and not trying to force things that you cannot. So for one example, let's say you hang out with a bunch of friends that are incredibly negative. Guess what? That is a choice you are making. If you want to be someone whose external reality changes and shifts, you can't keep putting yourself into environments that are not aligned to that. And so some people might need to drop out of your life. You might need to stop hanging out with that person that's always complaining, or that person that's so incredibly negative, maybe even insults you and brings you down and says what you're doing is stupid. You know, the more you spend time in that energy, the more you're just going to absorb it, internalize it, and not be able to change yourself. So stop putting yourself in those situations first and foremost. Now let's say you live in a house with someone like that, a parent, a roommate, or something like that. You need to have some kind of escape that you can go to if this starts happening. I'm not saying you need to move right away. Again, that's more long term. But let's say you have roommates. You know what? Don't interact with them as much as you can. Now you will have to eventually, but is there a place you can leave? Can you go for a walk and do an exercise that can put you back in that positive energy? Can you take a drive somewhere or go hang out with a friend who's a lot more positive? You know, is there a happy place you have around your neighborhood? Maybe there's, you know, a certain place you can go to. Maybe the gym. Going to the gym is something you love to do and that puts you in that positive self-improvement energy. You know, the thing you don't want to do is just sit there and just take it and let it fester. And I did this in my early 20s where I was with some roommates. I had some good ones and some not so good ones. And I didn't really use these strategies when I should have. For when it was getting bad in the house, I should have just left. Or when a roommate was really just being negative, I should have just left and done something else. But instead I would just go in my room and let myself like kind of stew in this negative energy. And that's not what you want to do. You need to root yourself in your knowingness. You need to realize, you know what? I don't need to be here right now. It's a choice for me to be here. I can just leave. I can go for a walk. You know, if you had a car or I had a bike, I could have gone for a bike ride. I could have gone to the gym. I could have just gone and done a meditation, you know, out in the woods or something. But staying in the environment, unless you have no choice but to, is not an excuse. You need to find ways that you can leave, recalibrate, get yourself back in that energy. You know, just as quickly as you went into the negative energy, you can get yourself back into the positive, more expansive energy. But shift your environment in the short term, and the more you do this, by the way, the more you interrupt the negative patterns, you move away, and you just, in the situation, just leave from the people who are dragging you down, the more likely it is that you will be able to change your external environment quicker, because now you're being more positive more often. You're not allowing these people to affect you because you're leaving. There's no reason you have to stay there. There's no one forcing you to do so, right? Go for a walk. Go play a sport. You know, one thing I used to do is go play soccer if I was getting upset with people around me in my where I was in my house. I would go kick a ball around because that made me happy and put me back in good energy and allowed me to release. So find ways you can do that. Next thing, and this one's a very important one if you have people interacting with you kind of poo-pooing your beliefs, or you're talking about being positive and all this stuff and they're going, yeah, life is suffering, dude. Yeah, it's not that easy, man. Yeah, money doesn't grow on trees, whatever it is. Yeah, you can't do that. You know, you're not good enough for that, whatever it is. You can just say internally, you know, you don't have to say this out loud. You're not trying to start an argument, but you can just kind of look at them and just say, okay. And in your head, you say, that is not a part of my belief system. Now, the reason you're doing this is because if you allow yourself to absorb that energy and latch onto it, you have to make the choice to latch onto it. You can deny or accept the thing that they are saying. And by saying, that's not a part of my belief system, you are denying it. Not denying it for them. You're accepting universally that whatever they believe is what they believe, and that's perfect for them. But you are not latching onto it, attaching to it yourself. And so what you just say in your head is, that is not a part of my belief system. And then you are communicating to your brain that, oh, that's not a part of our belief system. We don't need to grab onto that. Because if you don't do that and you allow yourself to feel shitty or crappy when that person's telling you that thing, your brain's going to be like, oh my God, this is true. Quick, let's make this real. Let's set up our environment so this is real because this is what is. But if you then go, you know, okay, and then in your head you go, that is not a part of my belief system. And even just saying that feels so good. That is not a part of my belief system. Then you're communicating to your nervous system and your brain, oh, that's not a part of our belief system. We don't need to, you know, store that. We don't need to hold on to that. So that's a great little thing you can do if you are in an environment with people who just don't have faith in you or just have negative belief patterns that they're projecting onto you. You can just go, great, that's part of their belief system, but it's not a part of mine. Next, guys, and this is the big one, is having some kind of releasing technique. Because for those of you not familiar with energy and emotion actually gets stuck in your body. So if you pick up on something, absorb something, and you don't release it, you don't have a method to release it, it's going to stay in your body and keep surfacing until you release it. Now, there are many techniques you can do for this. You can do things like primal therapy, which you can look up, which is very effective, a static dance. You can do something like the Ho'oponopono meditation technique. Again, just research that. Just search in the YouTube search, Ho'oponopono meditation. You'll probably get one from Aaron Dowdy. That's the one I use. It just takes 15 minutes. I do it at the end of the day, and it helps me to release all of the junk I picked up during the day. Because you can take measures to try and not absorb things, but remember, you are a transmitter and a receiver. So you will unconsciously receive things sometimes and get upset, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't have some kind of releasing technique, you're going to store that. It's going to lead to pain. It's going to lead to thoughts you don't want. So you need some kind of releasing technique. You know, this can be in the form of exercise and other things as well, but I really believe having something like a Ho'oponopono technique, meditation in there, really helps to remove the energy from your body, from your energetic field. And if you can do that every single night, you know, letting go of the things you picked up during the day, you're gonna feel so much better. Next thing, guys, I want to give you, and this is one of the most important as well, is having a recentering type practice. Now, we went about how to leave your environment, but it's not just enough to leave, because you need to be able to recenter yourself back into the energy that you want. You could leave and start walking and just go on a walk, and then on that walk be like, you know, who does he think he is? You know, I'm trying to be positive here. I'm trying to grow, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? You're the one getting upset. You're the one now clinging on to this energy. So it's not just about leaving. It's not just about changing changing your environment, that's an incredible first step, but then it's about how you react. And so you need to somehow recenter yourself, get yourself back in that energy, which you can absolutely do. You can go from negative energy to positive energy like that if you allow yourself to do it. If you stop trying to figure out why this is happening, or, like it's not fair or whatever it is, and you're being a victim, you will continue to hold on to that energy in that way. But if you just, for example, take a 5 to 10 minute walking meditation, if you just are able to get into a good environment again and just sit there for 5 minutes and 10 minutes and feel gratitude and meditate on gratitude or love or something like that, guess what? 5 to 10 minutes later, you are going to forget all about what happened. You're going to be in a totally new energetic state. And now your foundation for moving into the rest of the day is coming from love, gratitude, appreciation, peace, joy, whatever it is, abundance, wealth, whatever it is. Right? And you are 5 to 10 minutes away from feeling that. Maybe even quicker when you get better at it. And that's something I've been doing throughout my day. If I find myself in a negative energy, I will do what's called a vortex meditation. And I do this multiple times each day, regardless, even if I'm already feeling great, because it puts you into what's called the vortex, which is this kind of flow-like positive, amazing energy, basically the unified field. This is stuff we'll discuss in other videos, I'm sure. But essentially, it's putting me back in a state, a great foundation to then move into the rest of the day with. And so if you're not actually, when you're taking that walk or moving out of that environment, not taking the time to actually feel differently, you're just gonna go back and still be in that bad mood and take that into the rest of the day. So make sure you have recentering practices. Again, it can be just a 5-minute meditation where you are incredibly grateful and you're focusing on gratitude. It can be what's called a rampage of appreciation, where you just come in here and go, you know what, I love that I get to every single day live life in my way, and that life is determined by my choices, and I love the people in my life who support me and show me, and despite having these negative people, I have plenty of people who support me. I love that every single day I am growing stronger and stronger, becoming more of who I truly am. And you just do that and you riff for 3 to 5 minutes, and I dare you not to feel better after doing that. All right, guys, so that is how to stop absorbing the negative energy of other people. These things work, guys, but you have to apply them and you have to stay with it. Again, the more you can stay in this energy, the more your external environment is going to change. So I hope that it's been helpful to you. Let me know in the comments other methods you know, or which method of that I went over you're going to use. As always, I love you, and I wish you an incredible rest of your day. See you guys later.